Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and a chair that is literally on its last legs. I've got a feeling I'm going to cause myself physical harm when this chair breaks. But anyway, we work with what we have. Anyway, so we're going back over to Mikkeller San Diego, one of my favourite sort of Mikkeller breweries, if you will. And I've said it pretty much in every San Diego review. Just wonderful drinking experiences. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I subscribe to the Mikkeller Beer Mail box. Or the Beer Club box. Beer Mail is the slightly cheap one. But sometimes they get better beers than the Mikkeller Beer Club. I think there's a really nice balance. So you get good value for money for each box, essentially. And no, I'm not sponsored by Mikkeller, I'm not paid by Mikkeller, I'm not in the pockets of Mikkeller. You know, I've never been flown over to Copenhagen to spend a full weekend in just craft beer heaven. I mean, I'd love for that to happen, but oh well. But if you want a taste of the Mikkeller Beer Club or Mikkeller Beer Mail, then I will put my referral link down below, because it gets you a bit of a discount and it also helps me out as well. And what can I say? Anyway, that was very clumsy and a bit off the cuff. Yeah, we're going back over to Mikkeller San Diego, back on track. And we're having a look at the Tripperbocker. Wonderful name. A little bit of a, is it Salvador Dali influence there on Keith Shaw's label? And this is described as a Tripperbock, a lager brewed with raspberries at 8.5% ABV. You all know by now that I love Doppelbocks, German beer or German styles, or you know, just they speak to me. They speak naughty nothings in my eardrum when I drink them. And warning, there will be probably a lot of romanticism involved in this beer review, so you have been warned. And that romanticism starts with the fact that I'm using my newly acquired Augustiner glass, which I think this is version number 4 that I've had, and the previous versions have all been broke, but not by me. So, unlike that infamous Cloudwater incident captured whilst we were in Manchester, but the less we talk about that, the better. So, yeah, I thought, what a perfect opportunity to use this glass, aka Augustiner, one of my all-time favourite breweries who brew the best beer in the world, and I don't care if you agree with me or not. I'm all for people having their own opinions and tastes, but the Augustiner Lager Beer Hell is the best beer in the world, and if you don't agree with me, I'm going to smash this glass and stab you in the face. Which I'm not going to, because I'm not a violent person, and I'm actually quite a charming individual. But, yeah, anyway, so I know that Mikkeller San Diego can brew good lagers, because they did the Ramen Tuberu. No need to actually do that voice, Peter. The Ramen Tuberu, which was just wonderful. It really, really was. It's sort of a Keller beer, sort of unfiltered Pilsner style beer that they did. And oh boy, this is looking good so far. So yeah, it's a lager brewed with raspberries. So it's taken one of my favourite styles and adding one of my favourite fruits. So I'm sure they've brewed this a few times now, and I think my good friend Joe from the Beer Patrol over in Buffalo has reviewed this one at some point. He may have, he may not have. I might have just invented that in my head. I don't know. But anyway, beer in a glass then. And yeah, it's a little bit darker and a little bit more opaque than you would expect for a sort of box style beer. Usually they have this sort of like really nice cranberry juice ruby hue to them, but this is a little bit darker. I'm not going to say it's jet black, it's just the lighting in this room is not too good, and I don't know what covering my face will help, but yeah, it looks good though, with a nice sort of beige head, but there's, I don't know, maybe it's power of persuasion, but there's a little bit of like a raspberry hue to it. But yeah, it definitely looks the part in the Augustina glass. Just a little bit frustrating that obviously 440ml can and 500ml glass. But oh well. And let's give it a bit of a swirl and a sniff as my phone vibrates. It's been happening a lot in beer reviews. This new phone that I have, I put it to mute, I turn notifications off, but those bastards keep sliding in, and it's never, you know, when I'm about my business. It's always when, and of course, the obligatory play with hair part of the video, it's always when I'm reviewing, so I do apologise if that picks up a lot on camera. But yeah, that it was like about one finger when I rejuvenated it, but it died down pretty quickly. Anyway, it looks the part, if not a little bit more opaque and darker than you would expect from the style. So on the nose, oh, that's wonderful. You get that sweet malt character coming through. There's a little bit of cocoa powder in there, a little bit of a chocolatey vibe. Loads of caramel malt in there as well. Or caramel-esque aromas, I should say. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a slight smokiness to it. Very slight though. It's not like a Rauch sort of smoked character, but it smells good. You get those like stewed down fruits coming from the style itself, but of course with that inclusion of raspberries and the fact that it's you know, a craft beer. I hate that term. It's got its own unique points to it. So it's smelling wonderful. It really, really is. It's nice and desserty. It's like Black Forest Gatto with a bit of a... It's like a Black Forest Gatto tiramisu. And how wonderful does that sound? You know, I'd happily take my clothes off and just smother it all over my weirdly shaped obese body, because that sounds wonderful. Anyway, I'll just let that image settle in for a moment. If you need to pause the video and go get yourself some baby wipes, then I'm very sorry. Or you might need to be violently sick. And my hair is really pissing me off right now. So, since when did I become so fat? Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Anyway, let's just get the fucking beer drunk. Cheers, or Prost, I should say. They've done it again. It's what I want with a beer like this. You get that signature Doppelbock body. It's a little bit sticky. You get all of those stewed down fruits, prunes, loads of dark raspberries. Start again. Loads of prunes. I can see them in my head, but I can't get the name down. But you know, when you have a good Doppelbock, this is reminding me, Doppelbock-wise, of the Schneiderweiser Aventinus. It's got that sort of character to it. Really fruit forward. Like berries, cherries, stewed down Christmas pudding, that sort of stuff. Always amazes me when I get that Christmas pudding flavour in these sorts of beers, but I absolutely hate actual Christmas pudding. There's just something about Christmas pudding that I just don't like. It's like, it's not a pudding and it's not a cake because it's just fruit. It's like people who like prefer carrot cake over like a Victoria sponge. Who are these people? Like, why are they polluting the earth with their presence? I don't understand it. I jest, of course, because carrot cake is a bit more juicier, because of course the carrot adds a little bit more of a moistness. But anyway, not the point. But yeah, it's cakey. It's tasting like I was imagining it when I was smelling it. It's like tiramisu mashed together with a Black Forest Gatto, and it tastes absolutely wonderful. And those raspberries that they've used blend in with that Doppelbock style, as opposed to adding like another level of flavour. Because you get those sorts of flavours in a good Doppelbock anyway, really dark fruits. And this has that. So if you're looking for a Doppelbock, Mikkeller San Diego have done an absolutely wonderful one. But it's just got a little bit more character to it. It has got a slight little unique factor to it, because it's a little bit more cakey and coffee-like. But not too much. I mean, my favourite beer that I had in January was the Doppelschwarz from Cloudwater Wine on Northern Monk and Track, which was a combination of the Doppelbock and a Schwarzbier, and it worked beautifully. And I'm so glad to see more breweries do styles like this, because, you know, the romanticism's coming in now. I love these styles of beer. I could happily live the rest of my life drinking German beers. I really could. I'd happily live on the streets in a wonderful Bavarian city and getting affordable, high quality beers. Because, you know, when you go to Germany, you can get, like, for €1, a world class Doppelbock, like Salvatore, Aventinus, although that's a little bit more expensive, but not that more expensive, like €1.40, which is ridiculous. What else have we got? We've got Weltenberger Assambock. That's just a gorgeous beer. Salvatore, I think I've already said that. Maximator. There's so many. There's so many great German beers when you're in Germany that are traditional that you can get for dirt cheap. And what Mikkeller San Diego done here, they've emulated that. They're fully respecting the style, but they're adding their own little unique twist to it. And as I said, the raspberries used in this beer and the way they have been used just complement those stewed down fruits that you get in a Doppelbock. And it's a what? Am I like trying to claw at something off screen? I don't know what's going on with my alien hands. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful beer. It might not excite a lot of people, but to me it pays homage but does something a little bit different, and it does it well. And the romanticism of spending 4 years in Germany, just being engulfed by the beer culture, engulfed by the food culture and the respect that is shown for that sort of stuff. It warms me shackles when a brewery like Mikkeller San Diego can brew a beer like this. And that's why I love them. So needless to say, the hopeless romantic in me is giving this a 10 out of 10, because this is a Peter beer through and through. Raspberries are actually, the more I'm talking, coming out more on the back end. So you get a really nice, not too sweet aftertaste, which is nice. It's almost like a raspberry jam that's not really been sweetened too much, like a natural raspberry jam. It's lovely. It really, really is. The only thing is, I'm kicking myself because I'm recording this like a few days before my birthday, and I was bought a nice big cut of beef. And I can just imagine now how nice this would have gone with a nice cut of beef slowly cooked in like a port sauce. Need new pants at that thought, but another mental image that I'll let you sit on. And if you want to sit on it literally, then please do get in touch. But no, there's no need to be vulgar or crude or crass. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Mikkeller San Diego, knocking it out of the park, as per usual. What did you expect? And of course, full disclosure, romanticism and bias has played a major part in this beer review, but in an objective way, and basing a beer purely on its own merits, it's still a 10 out of 10 because it's just a wonderfully brewed beer, and you should definitely give it a go if you get the chance to do so. So I was a little bit apprehensive that the raspberries would just maybe add a little bit of like an unsettling tartness to the beer, which thankfully they don't. As I said, they've been incorporated beautifully, and the quality of them you can really tell in taste. And yeah, I just think it's wonderful that that an American craft brewery can make a beer like this. And yeah, I'm a very happy chappy indeed, to the point where we've been talking for absolutely ages. So thank you for sticking with me. So if you have tried it, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Check out Mikkeller San Diego, check out Mikkeller, check out my Mikkeller San Diego playlist. If any of my friends have beer tubes have reviewed it, their links will be down below. And of course, if this beer has whet your appetite and you want to have a little bit of a taste, then I'll put the link down below to the referral link. And of course, this may still be on the Mikkeller web shop as I'm speaking, although I wouldn't hold your breath because stuff goes very quickly on there. But yeah, Mikkeller San Diego, I love you guys, and you've pleased this German beer fanboy considerably with this wonderful little beer. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time for a much more concise beer review. Cheers!